If hell is chosen by the damned, then, is high easy? We could say that. Our old memories of catechism tell us that paradise is a garden of wonders, where milk and honey flow, where the pleasure is total. That hell is a furnace of fire, in misery, in the gnashing of teeth, in hatred. If that's it, obviously, nobody goes to hell. Everyone will choose the place of pleasure. In fact, this description of hell is metaphorical. She takes things to adapt to the carnal beings who understand by the pleasures, and by the punishments. But when one thinks deeper about what hell is, these punishments in hell and those pleasures in heaven are consequences. What constitutes paradise has a disadvantage. In fact, paradise is the choice of the love of God and of the neighbor to the point of self-contempt. Not a humiliating contempt. Total forgetfulness of oneself. We do not count anymore. Only the other counts, and as a result, there is happiness. The disadvantage, then, is this total humility, this lowering of oneself, below oneself, since what is natural to a man is, nevertheless, to recognize his qualities. Result. For the proud man, paradise carries a disadvantage. He does not like this lowering which is in paradise. There is an advantage in hell, because it consists in total freedom, exalted. We choose good and bad. We are like a god, we do not depend on anyone. But there is obviously a disadvantage, they despise God, and despise their neighbor. So, that the heart is empty. We must therefore love each other more than anything to choose such an end. From there, we understand that, knowing that hell is chosen does not make salvation easy, on the contrary. Simply, it changes things. The person must no longer be afraid of God who would put someone into hell. It is of itself that the person must be afraid. Because in her total freedom, if she sin now, that she gets used to selfishness, that she makes, insidiously, the goal of her life, it could well be that, in the face of the power of this seduction of the freedom of hell, she is damning herself. The number of the damned is all the more worrying because when one looks at the world as it appears outwardly, one sees that the values of humility and love are despised. And that, since always what is exalted is power, it is the act of shining in front of a scene. So the way to perdition is wide. Does that mean that all those people who are moving towards these values of hell will be damned? Of course not. God has means to save the poor sinners. But, what is certain is that to believe that salvation is easy is to confuse the ancient, scholastic theology with that much deeper approach of Saint Faustina.